What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 46 now of the Leeds United Career Mode. In this episode, we take on Spurs for the final gameplay game of the season in terms of the Season 2. Before we move on into Season 3, we have 3 games in today's episode, but 2 of those are simmed. Decided to sim them after this Spurs game because I really saw no point in playing them after that. There was literally, this is pretty much the last game that even matters to us, and it doesn't even matter that much. So I thought we weren't going to play the last 2. I'll show you a roundup of everything at the squad before we move on into Season 3. You can check out some of the players, how they're getting on here, and a few other stuff like that. So one of the things to mention as well, I do show you a squad builder, but I thought I'd be able to show it before I moved into Season 3, which I wasn't able to do. So you'll be seeing the start of Season 3, and I'll be showing you a squad builder in the next season when all the players have joined up with the squad. So yeah, looking forward to showing you exactly how the team looks and what we have in terms of everything next season. So, taking on Spurs here at home for the final gameplay game of the season in Season 2. Looking forward to this one. Spurs were high-flying not so long ago, except they're not quite doing it now. Chelsea and Manchester United are the 2 top sides in the Premier Division. Spurs are still up there in 3rd, but I'm not quite sure that them or Leicester are going to be able to do it in terms of winning the league title. I do believe it will go down to either Chelsea or Manchester United, but at the end of the day, anything can happen, and Spurs are only 2 points behind both of those guys with 3 games left to play, so it could go either way, this title race. But for us, though, we are basically looking at an 8th place finish at the moment, which, again, not too brilliant, but again, I'll take every position that we can get right now. An 8th place finish isn't bad. At the start of the season, I would have looked at it quite badly, but in the season we've had here at Leeds, with the team that we've got, 8th place is actually quite a good achievement for ourselves, and I need to sort of stop looking at the fact that what I would have liked to have achieved and what's actually realistically able to do here. You can see this lineup for the final time in the gameplay episode, or the gameplay for the final season. You can see the lineup, how it looks, and everything to do with that. Felipe Augusto on the bench today. I think Jackson was the holding midfielder, one of the academy players that have come through the youth system here, like the likes of Joe Green, Miguel also in there as well. Alan, we've obviously got Rose as well coming up the youth system. So we've got a number of big name youth players that are actually making their debuts and stuff and getting into the Leeds United side. So it's very nice to see that we're actually putting faith in youngsters. And the fact that we don't have too much to play for made me sort of put a little bit more faith in them towards the back end of the season. You can see the Spurs side though on your screen. It's a very strong one, but they are missing Dele Alli and also Harry Kane there as well. Janssen leads the line for them. They brought in Origi, obviously, that we were looking at bringing in, thanks to McCattle suggesting that one. We wasn't able to bring in Origi as he is currently at Spurs, but I'm guessing that he was brought in because Harry Kane did leave the club. I think Harry Kane went to, did he go to Bayern, I think it was? Well, it might have been this season now, it could have been last season actually, I'm not entirely sure, but I know for sure Harry Kane no longer plays for Spurs, and Dele Alli is currently sat on the bench. So at the moment, in my opinion, Spurs' first 11 isn't that great, or I wouldn't have said that we should have any problems here at home against them. And 27 minutes into this one, I wasn't mistaken, as El Ghazi gets on the ball here, gives it off to Jackson, Jackson into Moat, Moat into Kamaru, all the way down the line here to Costinha. Lovely play from us, I have to say. Costinha uses his pace to his advantage, gets into an advanced position, tries to curl it past the goalkeeper. It's a good save in the end, but he palms it straight into a dangerous area, and as a goalkeeper you've got to catch that, or you've got to palm it out for a corner. He doesn't do, and Moat says thank you very much as he prods his effort home to make it Leeds United 1, Spurs 0, 30 minutes into the game. Costinha and Moat involved heavily in that one, but Moat was the one credited with the goal in the end. So we managed to pick up the opening goal of this one at home. It's a very, very good lead that we have here against Spurs. If we could get a victory to end the gameplay of the last... Let me rephrase that. If we could get a victory to end the last gameplay game of the season off, then I would be very happy with that one. That's what I meant to say, and it just got tongue twisted in the end. But Mark giving us a lead 31 minutes into the game. Very nice to see, and pretty much straight from kickoff. Spurs would then try and create themselves a chance back in this one. Jan Vertonghen, who will be playing his football at Ellen Road for us next season, gives it off to Eriksson. Again, another person who will be playing his football at Ellen Road next season, as we managed to make the tackle on Eriksson, give it inside to Moat. Moat down the line here to El Ghazi, and El Ghazi goes on this right-hand side, cuts in now, puts across into a dangerous area, and Kamaru is there to nod us 2-0 in the lead. Very, very good teamwork goal there. It came from Eriksson actually losing the ball, so that's not a good sign when he comes over to Ellen Road next season to play his football here. He's obviously got an early taster of what it is like being at Ellen Road alongside Jan Vertonghen as well, who will be joining up with the squad next season. So 2 players there that we will be playing today who actually are going to be Leeds United players from Season 3, and they're getting a poor taste of what it's like here at Ellen Road as they are 2-0 down in this one, 36 minutes into the game. And Spurs, to their credit, didn't sort of sit back and just take this. They came straight back at me, and James McCarthy here in the 38th minute does a lovely little turn on the centre of the pitch, gives it off to Eriksen. Eriksen now beating a man brilliantly, gives it to Janssen. Janssen into Wanyama. Wanyama back to Janssen, and Janssen makes it 2-1, sorry, in this game. So instant reply pretty much from Spurs, which is very, very unfortunate for me. Lovely worked move, though, I have to say, from the Spurs setup, and it was very unfortunate to concede, but I'll concede those types of goals because it's a very, very nice move from the Spurs setup. So 43 minutes into it, though, we managed to create ourselves another chance. Moat really with a testing the Spurs back four, and Sacco strike straight at the Spurs goalkeeper. Very unfortunate he didn't manage to put that either side of the goalkeeper, but 72 minutes into the game now, second half, literally nothing too much happened as Moat flicks that ball around the corner to Sacco. Sacco on the right hand side, whips across in, and Kamaru really should have made it Leeds United 3, Tottenham 1, but 74 minutes in, he could only hook his effort just wide of that post. If I show you again here, you'll see it was actually a very, very big opportunity wasted from Kamaru to give us a 3-1 lead in this one, and in my opinion, he should be doing a lot better with that chance when he got it given. So I don't quite know how he didn't manage to put that ball in the back of the net, but 90 minutes were up, and we did pick up the 2-1 victory in the last gameplay of the season. Very, very happy with that one. I have to say on the day, Jan Vertonghen, very unfortunate to concede the 2 goals that he did, and Eriksen as well was involved in the Spurs consolation goal, I'll call it now, because that's what it exactly was. Dele Alli did make an appearance off the bench as well, but maybe I'll have to look into signing Dele Alli. I'm a fan of Dele Alli in real life, so if we can get him here at Leeds, I will try my utmost to do that. I'm not expecting it, though. You can see by the full-time whistle, 3 very, very close goals, actually. 31 minutes, 30-something minutes, and 41 minutes. So, in terms of match facts, though, I do believe we deserve to win that game, and that's exactly the way it went. So, we managed to pick up a victory in the final gameplay of the season. However, we still have 2 games to go, and those are both be simmed. I think we have one against West Ham, and I'm not entirely sure who the other one is against. So I won't call it that we've won our final game, because although we have in here, then we haven't actually won in terms of the last Premier League game. We've just won the last gameplay game. By the way, apologies if the commentary isn't up to scratch as per usual, as what it normally is. It's because I'm actually quite ill at the moment. I'm trying to get myself through these commentaries, and basically just last the entire commentary. You can probably hear I'm having to sort of cough and stuff throughout the entirety of the thing. Yeah, I'm just a bit ill at the moment, so I do apologise for the fact that the commentary isn't up to scratch as it normally is. I will try my hardest to get back to that once I'm feeling a bit better. But for now, I do genuinely apologise at the fact that I sound a bit ill and the commentary isn't as good as I would like it to be. But there's only so many times that I can actually redo these commentaries and actually not have to make it and just stick with it. So I'm just going to stick with whatever I feel is the best and what I've done the best. But yeah, I do apologise, and I do notice that it's actually not as good as it should be. As we lose the second game of the episode, the first of the 2 sim games there to actually West Ham. Oh, that was the actually last one, so I'm not entirely sure what happened in the other one. I didn't quite catch it. I must have been talking about me being a bit ill. But you can see Donnarumma so close to hitting 84 overall as well. I mentioned last episode that we actually only have £14 million budget for the next season, but we could get an offer in for Donnarumma, and if that happens, I may be inclined to sell the goalkeeper. As you can see, he's an 84 rated goalkeeper. I think he's worth about £31 million, which is absolutely insane. So we could be looking at an offer of around 45 to 55 million if we do, in fact, choose to sell the Italian goalkeeper. But for now, I've talked about my plans numerous times before in this series about what I'm going to do with Donnarumma, as we do, in fact, have Leno coming into the side next season. 88 overall, Leno that is as well. El Ghazi's so close to hitting that 80 overall. Will he hit it before the end of the season happens? You're going to be seeing as well, I do show you the first 2 trainings of the little gap that we have, because we obviously, at the end of a season, if you don't know, when you play in career mode, you have like a 2-month period of literally no games at all, so you can get about 8 to 10 training sessions in. So I actually only showed you the first 2 and the last 2. You can see El Ghazi does hit an 80 overall before we move into season 3, showing you the league table, and Chelsea did eventually come out as champions of the Premier League. So congrats to them. They are the champions of the Premier League. We did beat the champions of the Premier League twice this season, so that's very good for me. Manchester United, Spurs, and Leicester making up the top 4, with Manchester City only just, I say only just, they actually finished 3 points ahead of Palace. They made up and managed to get themselves into the Europa League for next season. We mentioned it last episode when we played against Man City. We stopped them winning that game, and Pep Guardiola's men would have to then go into the next one. With 3 games to go, I think they were 4 points behind, but they did manage to do it and managed to finish in 5th. The surprising one there was actually Arsenal, who only managed to finish in 7th. So very poor season for Arsene Wenger's men. We were behind them obviously in 8th, so that's a good season for us. I think Liverpool were actually behind us as well. So Palace up there in 6th is a very, very good season for Palace and Alan Pardew. Nice work over there at Selhurst Park from Alan Pardew and his men. But I have to say, I'm thoroughly happy with how we did in finishing 8th. I have to say as well, Klopp being in the fact that he, obviously his Liverpool only finished in 9th or even possibly 10th, I can't quite remember, from that league table, it makes me even happier at the fact that we managed to finish above them. And the fact that we were so close to finishing above Arsenal as well is, again, an absolute wonderful thing. So, as I've said in the previous episode, if we don't manage to finish top 5 next season, I'll be actually disappointed in myself as much as I will be in the team, because I do believe that for the next season, with the 4 players we've got coming in, and hopefully the money that we'll have next season, not just the £14 million from the players that we sell, I'm hoping we can get a strong enough squad to actually challenge and come in top 5. We won't have European football to worry about, we'll only have the Cups, but I'm not too bothered about the Cups. It's always going to be about the league for me, and then if we're in Europe, it'll be about that as well. But for now, we're not in Europe, because obviously we didn't finish high enough in the Premier League, and we didn't win the FA Cup like we did in the first season to get ourselves into Europe. So we are not in Europe for next season, and it's just going to be one of those seasons where it's Premier League football and the 2 Cups. So yeah, hopefully you still enjoy that season. You can see the squad report of how the players finished last season, because I haven't actually done any training, haven't played any games or anything like that. So you can't actually see the growth that they got last season. That's down to me. I thought I'd be able to show you it before the season ended, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do that. I thought you could do it before you clicked end season, but apparently not. So I'll know for next time at least. And you can see each player. If you want to check out any of the players in detail, then literally pause the video on any of the players that you want. Vieira's at 74 overall as well, trying my best to give him game time alongside some of the other players we've got coming in. Eriksen's actually 88 rated now, so pretty crazy stats on the Danish midfielder there, if I do say so myself. Joe Green, 85, only 19 years of age. What a star. We've obviously got Donnarumma as well, 19 years old, 85 overall. Remy's already decreasing though, guys. He was an 81 when I signed him. He's actually only 80 rated now, so it's not a good sign for Remy to be decreasing already here at Leeds. So could be an interesting one this season if Remy does decrease, and hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully with the game time that he'll get, he'll sort of keep his rating of about 80, but I'm hoping that he'll be a good goal scorer for ourselves as well. Him and El Ghazi up front, 2 80 rated forwards for the upcoming Premier League season. Hopefully we're straight injury free as well. And I'm hoping as well you've enjoyed this commentary. I've said hoping a number of times. I do repeat myself quite a bit as well in commentaries. Sometimes it's just one of those things that you can't really avoid, and I don't want to have to spend too much time making the commentaries again. So yeah, probably should, but at the same time, with my voice how it is right now and the fact that I'm ill, I don't want to have to do that. So you can see we've actually got a goalkeeper there as well from China. We're actually training him up to possibly be our backup goalkeeper if Donnarumma does leave. £14 million, like I said, showing you the budget here. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Career Mode. I do apologise again for my voice sounding the way it is and the commentaries not being up to scratch. I'll try my best to get back to full fitness, rather, and make the commentaries back to the way they should be. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been Danny. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm out. Adios.